Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Greater Nashville Realtors 2025 President, Colin Wainwright.
I hope everyone enjoyed their lunch. Events like these are made possible because of the many sponsors that support our work and invest in our industry. Our 2025 power partners are Regions Mortgage, Wayne's Pest Control, Closed Title, 615 Media, Johnson Creative, Chapman and Rosenthal Title, Old National Bank, Southern Trust Mortgage, and THDA. Thank you for all the sponsors here today. We understand the impact that community partnerships can have on our residents and our profession. That is why for nearly 30 years, Greater Nashville Realtors has supported Habitat for Humanity and helped give the gift of homeownership to many, many deserving families. None of which would be possible without the generosity and commitment from each of you in the room today. Let's keep this momentum going by showing our continued support and appreciation of this partnership. You can purchase Habitat for Humanity cards, holiday cards, by visiting the Habitat table outside the event hall. Directly give through your member portal. By giving, you are helping support what we hope to be another 3 decades of homeownership. "2025 has been a year of reflection and scrutiny in a multitude of ways. In the years that I've been a member, one of the things I've always admired about this association is that collectively, we've never stood still. Embracing change is an essential step towards progress, and it can be scary and messy at times. But when our new ideas align with our mission and vision, we can all win. As an organization, we were already due to revisit our strategic plan for 2026 and through 2028. But this year, we simultaneously embarked upon creating our first ever business plan. We thoroughly analyzed all of our expenditures and income streams to make essential, informed adjustments to ensure we are responsible stewards of your dues and your time. With one eye on the budget and the other on the quality of engagement that we deliver to our members and our board, we've streamlined committees so that now we can offer micro-volunteer opportunities across former committee disciplines, allowing the flexibility and variety of experiences that you asked for. In addition, we will offer your required Trek Core education free of charge at the association in 2026. These are 2 minor examples of forthcoming changes we are making to improve and enhance your member experience. Examining who we are, where we want to go, and why we matter, why realtors matter, was an informative, rewarding, and sometimes surprising exercise. Real estate professionals have a choice to be a practitioner or to be a realtor. And the work we do every day is not only for you, it's to ensure the public understands that a realtor is far and away the professional they should trust to handle their significant asset. But that's not enough. We don't want to be a choice. We must continue to be the choice, because anything less is simply inferior. In closing, I'd like to thank Jaron, Sarah, and the rest of the staff for always making it look easy and being the best support network any president could ever hope for. And I would also like to say a simultaneous apology and thank you to my 3 brokers, Andrew Terrell, Hagen Stone, and Thomas Rassis, for your generous patience and understanding of my schedule this year. And to you, our membership, it's been an honor to serve you over this past year, and I look forward to seeing Jack take the mantle as the thoughtful and tireless leader I know him to be. We are in excellent hands as he will continue to advocate for both realtors and consumers in 2026. For a recap of our 2025, please turn your attention to the highlight video on the screen. Kind of a busy year. And now it is my pleasure to present the President's Cup to someone I consider to be most deserving. This award is selected at the discretion of the current president to recognize a member who exemplifies dedication to Greater Nashville Realtors and to the real estate industry. I can say to all of you without an ounce of hyperbole that I would not be standing here today if not for this person. They persistently encouraged me when I thought I did not have anything left to give this industry. As a former president of the association, this person has continued to advocate for Greater Nashville Realtors while brokering agents through 2 mergers in almost as many years. Wise beyond their years, it's been an honor and privilege to work and continue to learn alongside this person, and to whom I will forever be indebted. I present the President's Cup to Andrew Terrell. I would now like to invite CEO Jaron Springer onto the stage for our recognitions and our Board of Directors installation.
Thank you, Colin. I would like to first take a moment to recognize the Greater Nashville Realtors staff and all the work they do day in and day out to support our membership. The association's success is in large part due to the great work that they do every day. Would the staff please stand and let's give them a big round of applause. They're right back here. All right, before we install our 2026 Board of Directors, I would like to have the following board members who have completed their terms of service on the Board of Directors this year to please come to the stage and accept a token of our appreciation. 2025 Immediate Past President, Kevin Wilson. Director Stacy Coleman. Director Maria Kemp. Director Von Richcreek. And 2025 Dixon Chapter President, Paul Bullington. And while we recognize these outgoing board members, will all the incoming directors and officers please make your way to the sides of the stage to prepare for installation in just a few moments. I'd also like to ask 2014 Greater Nashville Realtors President and 2026 NAR Region 4 Vice President Hagen Stone to join me on stage for the installation of the 2026 Board of Directors. Our 2026 Board of Directors is an amazing group of leaders. Each has committed to serve the members of the association and each other. And to those board members, I'd like to say you have become part of something that's bigger than yourselves. And as you are installed as 2026 board members and will serve beside President Jack Gaughan, please take a moment to recognize and accept the honor and responsibility that's bestowed upon you. I will now call on the 2026 Greater Nashville Realtors Board of Directors for their installation. Please join me on stage as your name is called. First, the officers. Jack Gaughan, President. Denise Moore, President-elect. Trevor Garrett, Secretary-Treasurer. Amanda Christ, Vice President of Member Engagement. Wesley Harvey, Vice President of Association Affairs. Colin Wainwright, Immediate Past President. And now the directors, Michelle Becker, Jasmine Bethel. Owen Canavan and Rebecca Fowler. Elizabeth Gatlin and Chris Grimes. Steve Jolly, Lila McCann. Zach Opheim and Cheryl Pitney. Eva Angelina Romero and Josh Stimson. And I'd also like to recognize April Harrington, who was elected to the board this year but is unable to join us today. And now I'll ask Hagen Stone to provide the oath of office.
Thanks, Jaron. This is an extreme honor to be here today to install these officers. I was thinking as I drove to this venue this afternoon, just how much our association and how much our industry has changed in the last, for certain, 12 years since I was president of the association, but in the last 3 to 5 years. This role that you all are about to take on is one that has much more weight to it and much more scrutiny, all in a volunteer role. And I want to thank each of you for taking this on. This is a huge deal, and all of us are appreciative of that. You're able to step up and make this happen for all of our members. One thing I also like to say personally, Jack, I remembered 10 years ago, we hung out in the San Diego airport coming back from NAR. Our plane was delayed for like 19 hours. And we sat on the floor of that place because there's no place to sit, and we talked about real estate, and you were trying to figure out if this is really what you want to do with your life. Well, congratulations. We hope that this continues at least for one more year. If so, we're grateful. So let's go ahead and get this done. For those being installed, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the bylaws and constitution of this association? You can say, I do. That we will observe and enforce the code of ethics of the Realtor Association. That you will uphold and support the State Real Estate Commission in the enforcement of its licensed law. That you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interest of our state, the high purposes of our association, and the welfare of our membership. And if you do agree to all these things, again, say, I do. I do. And by virtue of the authority invested in me by Jack and everybody else here, I do hereby proclaim each of you duly elected and officially installed and inaugurated to the office to which you were elected. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, you all are. And now I'd like to ask incoming President Jack Gaughan to the mic for a presentation.
I haven't said anything yet, so give it time. Colin, before I speak, I would like to express my appreciation for your leadership and guidance in 2025. Please accept this gavel as a token of our appreciation for your leadership and commitment to our industry, our membership, and to the staff of Greater Nashville Realtors. Thank you for everything.
It is now my honor to bring Greater Nashville Realtors member and Metro Council member Jacob Coupin to the podium for a special presentation.
Well, it's so great to be with you all this morning as a Realtor member and also as a Metro Council person. Congratulations to everyone newly installed, and congrats to Andrew, a greatly deserved recognition. I did think you were supposed to take the cup and hold it over your head and skate around a little bit, but he can do that later. And huge thank you to Colin for her leadership and her hard work, and how much, we all know how much she's given to this industry. And we are so sad to see her go, but excited for the future that she brings and the future vision of this association. It's really just incredible to see what we do together and what comes out of these meetings in these rooms. And as someone in elected office, I know firsthand the almost volunteer world of giving service. And so I just deeply appreciate all that she has given to us and to our association and our industry. And so it is my honor, on behalf of the Metropolitan Government of Davidson County, to give her this proclamation.
All right, now we'll see how this goes. Good afternoon, everyone. It is such an incredible honor to stand here today as your 2026 President of Greater Nashville Realtors. I want to begin by thanking my family who's here today. Many of you here probably know my parents, or as the kids say, the GOATs, greatest of all time, Mike and Lindy Gaughan. Sure, give them applause. Also, my brother-in-law, Andy, and my sister, Alex, who probably chose wisely to not work with her parents and her older brother full-time, who also deals with our family dinners, always turning into work conversations because everyone in here knows how that goes. My amazing and very patient boyfriend of 10 years, Lucas, who has to put up with the career I chose and the always working mentality. Sorry. I have a feeling that next year will not change that, so buckle up, Lucas. My work wife, Lacey Fitch, who I truly would not be able to do this next year without, or frankly, any year of my career. And to the rest of my RE/MAX Choice Properties family who have been constant support and champions of my journey in real estate and with the association. To the amazing board members I have served with up until now and next year's board, I want to thank you for your constant collaboration, your presence, and support through the years and year to come. Specifically, I want to thank Colin Wainwright, our 2025 president, who has been a constant friend and resource in this journey. I want to thank the amazing staff with Greater Nashville Realtors, led by our fearless leader, Jaron Springer, who do the real work day in and out. They make sure I know where I'm supposed to be, that I'm prepared, and I'm continually set up for success. Let's give them a big round of applause one more time. Lastly, thank you to everyone in this room, to this incredible association and membership for the trust you've placed in me. Your support means more to me than I can express. I'm proud to say I'm a third-generation realtor and a third-generation association president. Both of my parents and my grandfather served as president of the Sumner Association of Realtors. My dad, Mike, was also, I'm getting emotional, Tennessee president and Region 4 vice president. That's a legacy that I only hope I can honor and live up to. All right, now the crying's out of the way. All right, the truth is, I never thought I'd be a realtor. I went to law school determined to do something different than the daily grind I witnessed firsthand growing up. But somewhere along the path, I realized how great a life real estate had given my family. Not just in success, but in community, flexibility, and most importantly, purpose. I saw my parents and grandparents help find something so much bigger than a house. They helped people build generational wealth and stability. They showed families how home ownership can change the trajectory of their lives, how it can be a foundation for security, opportunity, and most importantly, pride. And I realized I wanted to be a part of that world. I wanted to carry that responsibility forward. Being a realtor isn't just about contracts or closings. It's about guiding people through one of the biggest moments of their lives. It's about service and trust and legacy. The R we wear stands for more than real estate. It stands for respect, responsibility, and a relentless belief in the dream of home ownership. As realtors, our work doesn't stop when the deal closes. It continues in the policies and decisions that shape and how people live and build wealth. Right now, Nashville faces a serious affordability challenge. Prices and growth have outpaced incomes. Too many people are wondering whether they'll be able to afford to live in the city that we all love. So that's why the advocacy we do matters. Nationally, realtors are fighting for a higher capital gains exclusion so that more homeowners can sell, move, and open inventory for the next generation. Locally, we're at the table pushing for smart growth, zoning that allows thoughtful densification and creative housing options that fit the fabric of our city while keeping it accessible. You guys, these aren't abstract issues. They determine whether teachers, nurses, and first-time buyers can build their futures here in Nashville. And this association is leading that conversation. We don't just talk about housing opportunity, we protect it. Being a member of Greater Nashville Realtors means being a part of something bigger than yourself. It means being connected to a community of professionals who share your standards, your challenges, and your drive to improve. Membership gives realtors the tools to build a better business, education that keeps us at the top of our game, resources that make us more efficient, and advocacy that protects our ability to do what we love to do. It's easy to take those things for granted: access to state forums, professional development, legal updates, networking events, and hey, even leadership opportunities. But each one of those benefits exists because of this association and the members who support it. Behind every transaction we close, there's an entire infrastructure built by this organization. People working every day to make our industry stronger and more respected. And maybe most importantly, membership gives us connection. It's the relationships we build through this association with peers, mentors, and future leaders that reminds us we're not doing this job alone. The Greater Nashville Realtors community is a family. And just like a family, we support each other, we celebrate each other, but most importantly, we make each other better. That's the real value of membership. Belonging is something that not only helps you succeed in business, but also makes you proud to do what you do in business. The last few years have tested all of us. The market's shifted, headlines have definitely challenged us. We've faced moments that tested our resilience and our reputation, but gratefully, we've been here before. We've weathered recessions, interest rate spikes, and housing crises. And every single time, realtors have come back stronger. Because real estate is resilient, and us realtors are resilient. We adapt, we innovate, we lean into professionalism, and we lean into the relationships we build here. We never lose sight of what matters the most, and that's helping the community of Nashville. So this year, my challenge to every single realtor here today is simple. Show up, speak up, and stay engaged. Get involved in a committee, invest in RPAC, mentor a new agent. Be the professional your community deserves. When realtors engage, our communities thrive. Because together, we can protect property rights, expand housing opportunities, and ensure that Nashville remains a city where everyone has a chance to call it home. I'm honored and humbled and very excited for what lies ahead. Let's make 2026 a year of purpose, pride, and progress for our members, our clients, and our city. Thank you all today for trusting me to serve you, and thank you for all the work you do every day to make me proud to be a realtor. Thank you. I know. All right, now for the actual guest of honor. Now I'd like to introduce our special guest speaker for today. Sean Henry is in his 16th season as CEO of the Nashville Predators, Bridgestone Arena, and Sabretooth Sports and Entertainment. Since joining the organization in 2010, he has led a period of major growth, helping transform the Predators into one of the NHL's most respected franchises and Bridgestone Arena into one of the busiest and most successful venues in North America. Under his leadership, the Predators recently secured a 30-year lease extension and launched a $1 billion renovation and development vision for Bridgestone Arena, which was achieved without state or Metro General Fund dollars. That's... The arena has earned repeated national honors, including Arena of the Year from Polestar, IEBA, CMA, and ACM, while ESPN has ranked the Predators the #1 professional sports franchise in North America. World. Henry has overseen marquee events such as the NHL All-Star Game, Winter Classics, Stadium Series, as well as the SEC Championships, and what we saw last night, the CMA Awards. He has also guided significant community impact through the Nashville Predators Foundation and expansion of Ford Ice Centers and community rinks across Middle Tennessee. Before coming to Nashville, Henry served as Executive Vice President and CEO of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Unity Motion, and spent 14 years with Volume Service, Inc. He is a graduate of the State University of New York and proudly calls Nashville his home with his wife, Tracy. They remain active in numerous community boards and organizations and enjoy traveling hockey, national parks, and time with their children and grandchildren. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to bring to the stage, Sean Henry.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That was about the most boring thing I've ever heard, right? Oh my gosh. Like you had the crowd and so started reading that shit. I gotta be honest with you. There was a sign on my wall my assistant put up. It said, just say no, please. Because I have a philosophy in life, you say yes to everything, period. The frustrating part for her is I say yes to everything. So it was really good this morning at 6 a.m. when she reminded me about doing this today, after getting home at about 3:30 in the morning from the CMA celebrations last night. So I think she's right. Just say no a little bit more often. But But I was so excited when I got up this morning to think I got a chance to talk to realtors. My gosh, what could be better than that? And then to find out Jacob Koopman was going to be here as well, and then he was going to taunt me, and I caught it, talking about the Stanley Cup that we haven't won yet, so thanks, Jacob. These New Yorkers are awful, aren't they? You just can't get rid of them. What I'd like to do, though, right now, because Deborah Beagle gave me a challenge, she said, pump everyone up. I was like, I don't really feel that pumped up. We lost our last game, just flew back from Sweden. I'm jet lagged. I'm hungover like a crazy man. I don't even know if these jeans are dirty or clean because my wife's still out of town. I didn't shave. I put a sweater on, but I'm here, and I'm proud of that. But, dude, you guys applaud for anything. This is awesome. But if you don't mind, can you all stand up a minute? All right. Shake your arms a little. All right, that's good. I just like get people motivated. Get the blood pumping. I have no idea what I'm supposed to talk about today because I asked Deborah, who asked, oh, you can sit down at any point. You can stay, I don't care. I said, Deborah, what do you want me to talk about? And I quote, Deborah, jump in when I'm lying. Well, I don't know, anything you want. So let me tell you about my granddaughter, Cha-Cha. She is wonderful. She's 2.5 years old. She's in Copenhagen right now. They're coming home. Our little brother, Benji, he's 5 months old. He's also there. Anything else, Deborah? So I just want to thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. What I would like to do is thank the numerous people I know are in the audience for telling me how great today is going to be, and it's the only reason I didn't cancel, because I'm not really that afraid of Deborah. I've known her a long time. Our kids went to school together. But Glenn or Rebecca, or whatever you guys call her, sitting over there, made sure I came today. Stand up, Rebecca. Everyone say happy birthday to Rebecca. I forgot. It was yesterday, by the way. My old neighbor, Tammy Sidlicki, I think is here somewhere. She said she was going to be. Yep. What'd you do when I moved in across the street from you? Yeah. She moved out. And the person she sold her house to is a pain in the ass. He invites me over all the time. 2 years, she never once invited me over. It was the best neighbor in the world. So she said I had to be here. Kathy Lucas, my other neighbor, she's here somewhere. She didn't show up. I knew I shouldn't have shown up. But again, I just want to say thanks for letting me come out today and for all those people motivating me to come. Because I got to be honest, after a loss, I am not in a good mood. And when you lose and then you have to travel home with the team and about 400 fans, everyone's there to tell you how dumb you are and how bad you are at your job. That's why I love listening to how great things were when you read that through. Oh my gosh, you just spit water out of your nose. That was a pretty good line. So thank you for that. But we are proud of what we do. Wins or losses, what we do is a little bit more than sell some hockey tickets, book some concerts, host award shows, SEC basketball events. We really believe that our role as a sports entertainment, really empire now as we continue to grow, is about making the community better. That's what you guys do each and every day. I love what you said earlier about how do we make sure the next generation can afford to buy a home. I have 4 kids, 2 own homes now, but I didn't think they were going to be able to. I mean, they ended up buying in some transitional areas at first, and you just hope they didn't get killed, and it worked out for all of them. But it really is, it's a big deal. And the fact that you all spend time and energy on it, it's pretty impressive. I mean, that's what we try to do as well. We want this community to be bigger and better every single day. And we have an opportunity almost every night to bring people together and let them forget about problems, politics, issues, health concerns, aging parents, wherever it is, and celebrate together. Last night was a good example of it. You had, 15,000 people or so showing the passion of Smashville to an international audience. That's a really, really cool thing. But again, it's more than just doing that. It's about 8 years ago, we started looking at our building. We were 22, 20 years old, whatever it was. And at that time, most sports teams or entertainment companies look and they say, well, the building's 20 years old. There are 10 new buildings around us in our league. We can't keep up with the Joneses. I mean, literally, Jerry Jones. It's ruined sports. Hate the Cowboys. We all hate the Cowboys. Yeah, clap for that. But it's such kind of a lazy thing to do, to think, you know what? The building's almost 30 years old. It's time to get a new one. And it's funny. The best house I ever owned was the first house we bought, which was in a bad, bad area in Pontiac, Michigan. But the house was 100 years old. It was the nicest house I'll ever own because it was cool and had character and all these neat things. And the house we're in now, I think, is almost 30 years old. And you start thinking, why does an arena and a stadium only last 30 years? Jacob, you're the council member. Why? That's not the right answer. You were supposed to say they can outlast 30 years, Sean Henry. There you go. You know why they last 30 years? Because the city bonds on the buildings are all 30 years old. So every sports owner says, well, 20 years, we better start thinking about where we're going to build the next one. And I've been fortunate where I've had a chance to work for a few different teams. The best one who invented our industry was the Detroit Pistons, back in the day, not now. Owned by just an incredible man that invented our industry, Bill Davidson. And he had a really simple approach, to the community. It's a lot more than just selling tickets. We got to clean up parks. We got to build playgrounds. We got to make, MDHA housing neighborhoods a little safer and give those kids an opportunity to do something different. And it's also about taking care of your own building. It's not the city's problem, the state's problem, the county's problem. This is where you want to be. This is how you're going to host people coming into your building. You're going to build partnerships. You're going to bring their story to life, their brands to life. You're going to bring people in the back door to perform on stage or on the ice or on the court. And you want to recruit the best 200, 300, 400, 500 employees in the best environment. So you have two choices. Take care of it, invest your own money in it, benefit from those investments because you're going to grow your revenue, you're going to recruit better players, better performers, and things continue to grow. Start building satellite buildings around the area and become an economic engine for other parts of the city as you're doing it, really living to Mayor Bredesen's vision of put civic furniture in certain parts of town and economic booms will happen. It's happening in Antioch when we built the first Fordyce Center. Obviously completed the development in Bellevue with the second Fordyce Center. We built a mini arena, mini Bridgestone Arena or F&M Bank Arena in Clarksville in the center of town. You see that happening already right now. That's what we try to do. So when we had an opportunity to say, you know what, let's meet with, I guess it was Mayor Dean still, about let's get a new building because ours is almost 20 years old. Instead, we met with Mayor Dean and said, what do we do? How do we take this building forward? The lease is up in 2028. We'd like to extend it. And I love Carl Dean. Make no mistakes about that. I love every mayor we've ever had. That's kind of my job, too. I mean, I really have liked all of them. Well, some of them. They've all been great for us. But we went from Carl Dean to Mayor Barry to Mayor Briley while we were doing that negotiation to extend our lease. And each one of them said the same thing. What is it you guys want? I said, we want to be here through at least 2049. The only reason we took that out to 2049, not 2099 or beyond, was that's as far out as the state would allow us to, go. So right now we're looking, okay, by 2035, we better take it out again another 20 years, because the most magical thing about what I get to do every day is watch a grandfather with his granddaughter, kids in college going on their first date at a hockey game or a concert. And what I'm excited about, my son's first date with his wife was at a hockey game. And now my granddaughter sits on my lap at hockey games where they met. Or I guess they met in high school, but their first date was there. It took them a long time to get the courage up to ask her. My first date with my wife was at the Palace of Auburn Hills for PBR. I remember my grandparents met at Coney Island. We used to have to go to that crappy old amusement park when it was burned down and nothing every year as to pay homage to Baba and Grandmommy. But it was cool and it was special. It made that Coney Island hot dogs a little bit better. That's what our building does. It's a multi-generational storytelling affair. And the greatest non-hockey team in sports used to be the New York Yankees. By the grace of God, I'm a Yankee fan, like most of you are or should be. But I loved them because they played in a nasty old 80-year-old building. It was cool. It was better than Fenway, better than Wrigley, better than Lambeau, better than Soldier Field because the Yankees played there and it was ours and it was old. And that's where I went to my first game. And we went there for my communion and my confirmation and big celebrations. And then they tore it down, and they built a cold, stoic, nasty, boring building that Babe Ruth didn't build that building. I guess Derek Jeter did maybe, but in reality, George Steinbrenner did because he wanted to keep up with the other teams. Well, unfortunately, the team I hate more than any other team in professional sports, besides the Blackhawks and Penguins, is the Boston Red Sox. Everyone hates the Red Sox, right? I'll tell you what, I went to a Red Sox game last year. It was hard not to fall in love with that building because it's 108 years old. They fight with the Cubs of whose building's older. Wrigley Field is one day older because they played a day earlier than the Red Sox. But how cool is it that great-great-grandparents went to games there and now their descendants are going to those same games, enjoying the same things, walking the same door. That's what we're doing with that building. So someone mentioned we're putting $1 billion in the building. I thought like new dessert came or something, my gosh. Someone said we're putting $1 billion in the building. That's probably a slight exaggeration. Everyone who knows me knows I exaggerate everything. It's probably closer to maybe 940, 950, but it's a rounding error. Depending on interest rates, it could be $1.7 billion or it could be 800 million. Hopefully it lowers a little bit. But what we're excited about isn't the development that you've seen. I'll talk about that in a minute. It is an arena renovation project. We get a chance to sit in the neighborhood that we created. Before that building was built, if you're not from Nashville, you don't understand how bad it was. My old company, we used to build, we'd invest and build venues. And I remember I met with a guy named Mayor Bredesen. I was really young. I was in our investment group. And he showed us what he was going to build. And we laughed. I mean, literally, we laughed like, well, it's awesome. We could walk from the peep show, the massage parlor, and the adult bookstore and go to a hockey game or a basketball game, wherever it's going to be. With all due respect, so we're going to pass. Fast forward 20 years or so, my first lunch was with a guy named Governor Bredesen. And of course, he's not going to remember the 24-year-old that said, no, thank you. First thing he said was, well, what do you think now? And that was in 2010. And what has been built around that building by, again, paying off his civic investment in dropping a building somewhere and watching things happen, we realized we created that neighborhood. Let's thrive in that neighborhood now. And if someone offered me, if future Mayor Coopin came to us and said, we're going to give you $4 billion to build the greatest arena ever built, but it can't be at 501 Broadway, we'd have him impeached. Like, we would just run away from him. Yeah, you know, don't get too used to your seat. But, you know, for us, it was really, really important to continue the investment he made in 1994 and the building opened in 96, again, for the next 20, 30, 40 years. So it's about renovating the building. It's about taking the building that was built in 1995 and not just making it modern by those standards, but making it modern by all the new arenas that have been built since then. You know, some new revenue generating areas, but also people celebrate differently now. And people spend a lot more time at games, pre-game, post-game. We have to make sure we can accommodate them. More restrooms, different types of food and beverage, make it a little bit more ADA friendly, make it in a place where everyone feels comfortable coming and not just eroding what was built in 1995 like so many other teams do in their own building. And that's what I'm excited about. And it's not just a renovation for the next 4, 5, 6 years. It's a 25-year renovation. And we put about $10 million in the building every year right now to make sure that we're always doing something. That will continue through this whole process. But the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to invest about $600 million in the arena itself, about $150 million on our Broadway development, and then the next number keeps going up because I'm not sure exactly how many rooms we're going to build. We're going to build a hotel tower right on this corner as well, which right now we have that built in at about $300 million. That'll probably go up dramatically because I think we're going to build a bigger hotel. So, but it's really about the arena. It's about new seats, new bathrooms, new lighting, new HVAC, new ice making equipment, and making it a building that isn't considered one of the busiest buildings in the world, because that's a nice thing to brag about and boast about, but it's about making it the best run facility, making it the best place to come see a game. And my favorite thing is when my friends come down from New York and they're such arrogant hockey fans, when they say, man, that was the most fun I've ever had watching the Rangers lose. And it's a cool thing to hear. That's what that's about. It is a joy factory. It's about making memories and making fun. So how do you renovate a building while you're operating one of the busiest buildings in the world? I don't have that answer. You know, hopefully we get there soon, but our initial plan was to shut the building down every summer. The minute we stop playing hockey, you shut it down, reopen it roughly Labor Day weekend. We just came up with a new plan that will probably only have us shutting the building down one summer and then 1 month for the other 3 or 4 summers, which then allows us to continue to bring, you know, the shows through it more and more often. The biggest fear we always have, if we don't do summer shows, those tours will find somewhere else to play. Maybe it's Louisville or Memphis or Atlanta, and we don't want that. So that's why we changed that a little bit. But we'll shut down that one summer, and that's when we'll do most of the HVAC work. We'll rip out literally the arena floor, redo all the piping underneath it that makes, you know, our ice. Outside of that, you're going to have active construction jobs going attached to the building. It'll be a little inconvenient for our fans who are there, but I guarantee it'll still be fun to come to our building, and it's going to be worth it because you're going to be seeing things come online time and time again. And again, I don't like the Chicago Cubs. I don't like the National League. I don't even know why it exists. But we spent a long time studying what they did in Wrigley Field. Now, they had the benefit of having a full winter, but it was in Chicago, so not really that weather friendly. But they did a 5-year renovation, and we're really following that blueprint. Madison Square Garden did exactly what we're doing. They did a 7-year renovation. I think we do ours, the bulk of it, in 4 years, and then the development just continues around it. But we're excited about it. We really are. The development itself, you all know what 5th and Broadway is on that side of Broadway, the old convention center. Picture that flipped over on our side of the street and maybe a little bit higher. So the Broadway side of our building will have anywhere from 8 to 12 restaurant concepts, retail concepts, the world's largest rooftop bar. Make sure you tell the Titans that, because ours is about 18 feet larger than theirs, which we waited till they designed theirs and started construction before we announced that. But it's going to be really, really cool to have 7-day-a-week restaurants and concepts extending Broadway past our building and not stopping at our building. And then more importantly, on event days, game days, concert days, award shows, sporting events, the concourses now triple in size because they spill right into those restaurants. And so 200 times a year, they're being activated with our guests and our events. The other 165 days that we fail and we don't book an event, you have the Broadway excitement penetrating right into the building. So really nice in and out. Fifth Avenue will be lit up. Right now where our team store is and BetMGM, that'll change. It'll be a new restaurant concept on the ground floor that will connect in a better fashion up to BetMGM. Again, igniting Fifth Avenue in a little different way. So instead of seeing this concrete edifice, this building that was built in a very introverted fashion to keep Broadway out, now we're ripping it all out, and you won't see walls. You'll see glass, and it's going to be a really inviting place to do. You turn the corner right over here, Demonbreun and 5th, you'll see the hotel tower that will start roughly on the 5th floor. Down below, interactive in and out restaurants, new ways to get in and out of the building, taking the best things that have been built in our industry over the past 5 or 6 years, incorporating into this building. But what we're keeping is the history and the memories and the transgenerational stories that you get to do. And then around the building out on the other side, we're going to add 2 layers of parking to support the hotel that we're building. And then ideally ignite 6th Avenue a little bit. Those plans are a little tentative right now because we really want to see what happens with the church property before we go all in. If it stays a parking lot, we would do a certain thing. If it becomes a parking garage or convention center expansion, we'd alter that a little bit too. So we're really excited about what we're doing. Ideally, the joke that Mr. Koopman made about putting it over your head and skating around with that big silver trophy, ideally before we're done in those renovations, we're doing that. But even after they're done, I hope we're doing it multiple times. The real key is the renovations will never stop. I got here in 2010. We put about $150 million in a building that costs $120 million to build because it is always about building the new amusement ride. When you go to a park, Disney, wherever it is, you always look for what's new. It's the same thing in our building. We probably have 8,000 fans that go to every single game. Those 8,000 fans will get really, really bored if you didn't put in a few new food items here or there, or the world's largest roller coaster or Jersey roller coaster that's lit. The Braves is slightly larger, but it's not lit. So I'll always find an ability to be the biggest or the best, except for my own stature. Even that I exaggerate a little bit too. I'm 6'1". But we are excited about what we're doing. We're excited about what you're doing because as we make this city a little bit better and we don't get into the city's general fund, it will allow our city council and our mayor to do things differently with those resources. So we're really proud of the fact that we are going to be putting close to $1 billion into a building that originally cost $110 million. And we're doing it, by driving more business into the building and taking advantage of that activity to do what we're doing. So we're excited about it. I'm equally excited about the new Titan Stadium. We're a bookend. Our building was built. Mayor Bredesen recruited the Titans as well. We built that. And you look at what's sandwiched in between the two venues and the activity that comes in and out of it. It's pretty cool. It's going to be a lot better when all the East Bank is expanded too. Because it used to be, even when our building opened and it wasn't all that safe on Broadway, there was still about 1 block of activity for the most part, and then 2nd Avenue, and then obviously it became 2 blocks and 3 blocks and 4 blocks. Well, now you go all the way to the interstate, right through the yards, and you'll be able to go the other way just in the same direction. And I can't wait for that. And I always hear people say, oh, I miss old Nashville. Don't you guys miss old Nashville? Remember how cool and quaint it was? Old Nashville sucked, and you all know it, right? I mean, the 2 best restaurants in town, the Old Spaghetti Factory, yeah. And let's get a T-shirt at the Hard Rock Cafe. It's awesome. But there was nothing to do here. If you grew up here, raise your hand if you grew up here. All right, on Friday nights, what did you do? And you're lying if you don't say go to night court. That was the activity for our kids. You got to go to night court. I thought night court was a sitcom. I didn't know that was a real thing. What has been created in and around Broadway is incredible. And I love when people say, well, no locals go to Broadway. I hate Broadway. I hate CMA Fest. You're a liar, man. You love everything about it. And I have data to prove the fact that we have 1.4 million people from a 3-county radius that come to our building every single year. Fortunately, we have about 1 million people that come from other counties and outside of that area, really bringing economic development that's real impact to all of us. So I love what we do. I love what we stand for. I cannot wait until we're winning a few more games and losing. This is kind of a transitional year or a bridge year into the future. At the same time, we expect a lot more from this team. And we're sitting out of the playoffs right now, but I'm really excited about coming back home. We just got showcased on the world stage in Sweden. It was just an incredible trip for our fans and partners. We had about 300 people take the trip with us, which is great, about 40 or 50 partners as well. It was just a really, really good time. And I was talking to my counterpart at the Penguins. I said, where are your fans? Like, you didn't bring anyone. He said, we didn't bother doing a fan trip. I was like, why? And these are the special events where you get to talk about for years and years and years to come. So it's those little things that we do that I think do have a big impact. And again, that's a lot more than the wins and the losses, booking CMAs and the SEC through time ends. That's our job. Our responsibility is to work with this community every single day, and that's why we're so proud of our foundation. I think last week we just built our 15th or 14th playground in Davidson County. We have 2 more coming. We're building with MDHA. We're building deck hockey courts with them as well. Those are the small things that we do. We have 400 employees, all give 40 hours a year of community service. Not that we make them do it, but if you don't do it, your life kind of sucks. But on average, our employees donate probably 60 or 70 hours a year. It's really an amazing thing. When you take, 100 of our employees are fresh out of college. They're 21, 22 years old. And sometimes they don't know how to give if the school's not telling them how or their parents aren't. We open up that door and that passion. And once you unlock that, it's a really, really cool thing. And, Preds in the community, we love it. Saturday Night Live loves it. They had some fun with it last week. Like, it's a new joke. Like, I didn't know we had white vans and Predators. I mean, we know. I guess you guys don't stay up late enough for Saturday Night Live. But, they were making fun of Preds in the community. And we give out T-shirts that say Predators in the community, Preds in the park. Because we're not afraid of it. I mean, we are in the park. And it's funny, another sports team in town said, you must be so embarrassed about that, huh? I said, yeah, we're really embarrassed about the 14 playgrounds we built. We're really embarrassed about the fact that every Wednesday we take over a room in the inn. We're really, really embarrassed about the fact that we make dinner for the Weaver Center every single week. Someone cut me off. I forgot what I was really, really excited about next. But we are really excited about what we launched with the YWCA to try to rid domestic violence from our city. So I said to him, yeah, you must be really embarrassed too about, I can't think of anything that you guys do. I won't mention who the team is, but it's another team in the general area. But we love what we do, and I love challenging people to say, you should do this, or you should do this, or you should do this. I love when people call me to say, I don't think this is very good. You need to change it. That's the best thing we do. I hate criticism. I hate everything about it. Raise your hand if you like criticism. Exactly. You half raise your hand. You're a liar. No one likes criticism. There used to be some goofy guys on the radio, they're not anymore, thank goodness, that absolutely hated the Preds, and they hated me. They still hate me, I think. And they would always get on and say, he's just a cheerleader. He's a cheerleader for the Preds in the city. He's so annoying, and he hates criticism. So I got on the radio with him. I said, you're right, I hate criticism. Who likes criticism? It's someone telling you suck, or you're not doing a good job at something. And I don't mind telling the opposing goalie they suck, but you don't want to hear it about yourself. With that said, we thrive on criticism. We eat it, we use it, we take it in, and we change what we're doing. So if someone says we should paint that wall black, someone else says we should paint it red, another person gold, the good person, what we hear is we got to paint the wall. It's not so important what the color is, but everything we do in our building, everything we do with the organization is about listening to the community and how to move that forward, even when it's sometimes not popular with fringe groups. I would say if you do what's right or strive to, you're not going to be wrong. That's what we're doing right now. We are not just taking care of our own building. We went to the mayor and we said, look, Centennial needs some love. Centennial has $20 million of deferred maintenance. The next time something breaks, it's going to close. So what are we going to do? And so we said, you know what, we'll take over the building. All the program will remain the way it is. We don't want to change anything that's working there. We just want to come in and invest $30 million in the city's portion of the building and also build a new training facility on the backside where ours is currently. Again, when we did this, I was at a league meeting. Someone said, why are you doing that? You're ruining it for all of us. I said, what do you mean? Like, you should get the city to pay for it. I said, well, the problem is we love living here. We're not just robber barons. We want to make it bigger and better. So again, we're proud of doing those things. Let's take our success and reinvest it in the community. And you guys do that each and every day. You touch lives. When you turn those keys over to someone, it must be magical. Like for me, we score a goal and I hug everyone around. I can't imagine giving someone a place to live and their long-term investment like you guys do every day. So thank you for that. And I'll answer any questions you have. We might even have a video too or something. Let's run a video if we have it. Do we? I know we have a pretty picture. Oh, here it is. There's no music though. Picture, I like it, I love it, being sung to this. So this is coming up Broadway. You can see the historical glass tower, reimagining that, which will serve as a video boards, a TV studio, a bar. Right now, Good Morning America, for example, broadcast there the past few days. Now it's a permanent structure. Our pregame shows will be out there. SEC will be out there. And then you start coming into the building. If you can envision what's at 5th and Broad when they created that inner street, that's what we're doing with our concourse. You can see it dissecting. On the right-hand side is the new development. It's about 7 stories high. On the left-hand side is the arena proper. Again, our event days, that all flows together as one. And again, you're ripping out all that nasty concrete, opening it on up, and you look at that halo of video that you're walking under, really cool and wow impressions. Now, I think we roll down 5th Avenue. You'll see another video board that'll play out to the park, that the Downtown Partnership has just done a great job with bringing that to life a little bit more often. Now our watch parties will be a little bit easier to set up. Citywide events will be easier to do. That's the video board that we'll have. We'll start turning the corner on what is currently the rehearsal hall, which all of our concourse spaces will flow into that as well. And then the hotel will be built right on top of that. So that vantage is where we're standing right now and looking into our building. And you can see everything is really open in and out. That shows, I think, a 340-room hotel. We're probably going to go slightly bigger because we should, after listening to the CVC and the Convention Center and our pain-in-the-neck council member who thinks we should build more and more. Sorry, you're in the front row, man. Oh. And I think that's where the video stops. So we're excited about it. We started these projects about 1.5 years ago. In reality, we're building some of the blocking that we need to do. This summer, we'll do a few more enabling projects, build some new escalators in the south side of the building, because we're going to take down the other escalators temporarily while we build forward. So the next 4 or 5 years are going to be a lot of fun for all of us. So I think I'm right at time. No, I ran fast, sorry. Wait, any questions at all? Who wants to go to the game Saturday night? Well, then ask a good question. You can have Jacob's seats.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Very exciting times for us in Nashville. Thank you, Sean, so much again for joining us today. All right, guys, that wraps up our event for today. Cheers to the 2025 and excited for 2026. Thanks again for being here today.